Hi, I'm Bob Battle with Battle Sugar Bush, and in between batches of syrup right now. I just took my first batch off, and we're waiting for the second one. So I thought I'd share with you a little bit of what we're doing today. Sap started running yesterday about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and when we woke up this morning and came down to the woods, we were pleasantly surprised to learn that all three of our storage tanks were full, and so we had to get to work boiling it down. But before we boil it down, we concentrate it with our reverse osmosis, and I just wanted to show you a little bit about how that works today. So I want to show you first of all the sugar content of our raw sap. So this is our tank full, or it's actually, we've run it down quite a bit now because we have been emptying it, but that's our tank of raw sap. And what we use to measure the sugar is a hydrometer. A hydrometer measures a specific gravity of a liquid. If you had high school or college chemistry, you probably used this somewhere along the line in a lab. But it's this particular hydrometer has been calibrated to measure the sugar content of sap. So we use this cylinder, a hydrometer cylinder. We fill this with sap. So I'm just going to dip it down here into the raw sap, fill it up. Okay, so that's full of sap, and I set it on a level surface, and I'm going to drop the hydrometer into the cylinder. And where that comes up, the number that shows up is the percent sugar. So if you can see that, it's a little bit windy out here, but it's at right about 2.5. You can see that 2 there. It's moving around. Quite a bit of wind out here, but it's at about 2.5%. And I'll just take and empty that back into the tank here. Okay, I emptied that into the tank. We're going to go now, sorry about that. We're going to go into the sugar house and show you what's going on in here. You can see we're boiling away. We're not quite close to syrup yet, so I've got a little bit of time here to keep this video going. Okay. This is our reverse osmosis machine. This yellow hose comes in from outside and runs it through a couple cylinders. A couple membranes are in these cylinders in the back. So the cylinder here is where all the work is being done, where the raw sap runs in and runs through some membranes and separate some water out of the raw sap. And these gauges, we keep our eye on them. If we are less than 300 psi, we're golden. If it's over 300 psi, we'll be putting too much pressure through the membrane. So we run that pretty close to 300. It's at about 260 right now psi, so we're real good. It also has a thermometer, and you can see we bought this. It's a piece of used equipment. You can see that these instructions, or the labels, are written in French. About 80% of the world's maple syrup is produced in French-speaking Quebec. So the majority of maple syrup producers are French-speaking. So most of the equipment it comes in French. So we had to get a little bit of translation done so we could understand how this thing worked. You see, there's a thermometer there. That's also, so it's at 12.4% Celsius. So that's also measured. I think they're turning out a little backwards on this video, but that's 12.4 degrees Celsius. So that's real good too. We use the thermometer more when we are washing it. liquid has to go, the water that we use to wash it needs to come up to I think it's about 38 degrees Celsius. Anyway, that's when we use that. So the sap, the now concentrated sap, is running into this tank. This is our holding tank for the sap just before we boil it down. And you can see this is the stream. That is the stream of now concentrated sap that's running into our holding tank. So I'm going to capture some of that with the same cylinder that I used outside. So I'm just going to hold that under the stream and capture it. This will tell me how concentrated the sap, the now concentrated sap, how concentrated it is in sugar. So I filled that up, and I'll put that on a level surface, and I will take the same hydrometer that I used outside and put it back in the cylinder, and we'll see how much the sap is concentrated. All right, so take a look at that. You can see it's at about 8.5% sugar now. So we've concentrated out more than half of the water. We took it from a 2.5% or so to an 8.5% sugar content. So that really speeds up our boiling process. It takes a lot less energy now, wood, to boil our sap down compared to before we had the reverse osmosis. I think 2009 was our first year with the RO. Last thing I want to show you here is the tank that's collecting the water. So that's the water that we're collecting from the water that's being separated out from the concentrate. We hold that in this tank. See, that's the hose there that's running into the tank. We collect the water because we need to hold a certain amount of it to run back through the reverse osmosis at the end of the day to clean out the membranes, to keep it running well. And we also keep it as wash water to wash the floors, wash our equipment. It's really nice. We don't yet have running water out here at the Sugar Bush, so it's nice to have a supply of water. You can see the steam, or actually the smoke coming out of the smokestack, and the steam coming out of the cupola. So we're hard at work here producing some pure maple syrup for you to enjoy, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.